going to tell you something that still shakes my voice when I talk about it. A truth so disturbing that sometimes I wish I never saw it. Because the night a car started following us, it didn't have a driver. And the worst part, it didn't want to pass us. It didn't want to scare us. It wanted us to go with it. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. You're going to want to stay for this. I wasn't supposed to be on the road that late. My sister and I had left the family gathering much later than planned. It was one of those cold, starless nights where the sky feels heavy, like a giant sheet of black fabric pressed down over the world. Fog drifted across the highway in long ghost-like trails, and the hum of my engine was the only sound breaking the silence. My sister, Mia, had fallen asleep in the passenger seat, curled against the window. The clock on the dashboard glowed to 13 a.m., and the only thing I wanted was to get home, shower, and collapse into bed. The road was so empty that after a while, I started to feel like we were the last two people alive, moving through a dead world. That's when I saw the lights. A pair of headlights cresting a hill far behind us. Nothing strange about that until they started closing in faster than they should have. I thought maybe it was someone speeding. Maybe someone drunk. Maybe some idiot who shouldn't be behind the wheel at that hour. I kept driving, but the car didn't pass. It stayed behind us. Exactly behind us. Locked into our speed like a shadow. I frowned and shook my head. All right, buddy. Either pass or back off. But it didn't. Instead, it got closer. Closer. To close. Its headlights flooded the interior of my car with blinding white light, stretching my shadow across the dashboard. I tapped the brakes lightly, not enough to slow much. Just enough to signal I wanted space. The car behind me copied the motion perfectly. I felt the first cold ripple of unease slide down my spine. I tried speeding up. The car sped up. Primer slowed down. The car slowed down. Okay. What the hell? I shot a glance at Mia. Still asleep. I didn't want to wake her over something stupid, something that maybe had a normal explanation. So I tried something different. I moved to the next lane, drifting slowly. The car behind me didn't pass. It moved with me. Not behind where I used to be, directly behind me. Again, that's when I finally decided to check the driver. I tilted the rearview mirror. Lower. Lower. Adjusting for the glare. And then I saw it. My heart stopped. There was no one inside, no silhouette. No head shape. No movement. Just an empty, hollow cabin. The driver's seat was visibly empty. I blinked hard, convinced my eyes were messing with me, but when I looked again, the seat was still empty. The passenger seat empty. The back seat empty. The whole car empty. My throat tightened so fast I choked on my own breath. Mia, I whispered, my voice cracking. Wake up. She stirred, groaned, stretched. What? What is it? Look behind us. She rubbed her eyes and turned slowly. And when she did, she froze. Her voice came out, small, trembling. There's nobody driving it. I swallowed hard and faced the road. My hands shook against the steering wheel. The car behind us, still glued to our bumper, flashed its headlights once. Then again, like it was signaling. Not aggressive, not impatient. More like calling us, trying to get our attention. The headlights flickered in a slow, rhythmic pulse. What does it want? Mia whispered. I don't know. Then came the sound. A long, low honk, except it didn't sound right. It didn't echo like a real horn. It sounded distant, muffled, almost underwater. Mia grabbed my arm, nails digging into my sleeve. Go faster, she hissed. Please. I pressed harder on the gas. The engine groaned as we sped up. The car behind us immediately responded, accelerating so smoothly it looked unreal, like gravity didn't apply to. Italiano, why is it doing that? Mia cried. I don't know. I don't know. I could feel sweat collecting at my temples. My heart hammered like it wanted to break out of my chest, But then things escalated. The car behind us surged forward, close enough that I almost screamed like it was about to ram us. Then it stopped just short, keeping the same impossible, perfect distance. It was toying with us. "Take an exit," Mia shouted. "Take any exit." I swerved into the next off-ramp, tires screeching. The car followed. Its wheels seemed to glide unnaturally, not bouncing like a regular suspension would on the uneven concrete. We ripped down a side road. Trees closing in. Fog thicker, but no matter how sharp I turned, how fast I went, it stayed right behind us. It mimicked every movement with precision. I spotted a narrow dirt path branching off from the asphalt. There was no way a regular car could follow us in there. "Hold on." I cranked the wheel, and we bounded into the dirt road. Rocks pinged against the underside. Branches scraped the sides. The car shook violently. I dared to look into the mirror. The black car turned into the dirt path too. But it didn't bounce. It didn't shake. It floated over the rugged ground, silent, smooth, unnatural. "No," Mia whispered. "No, no, 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 no." No. No. Even worse, the wheels weren't rotating. They stayed still. Perfectly still. But the car moved anyway. I wanted to vomit. We drove deeper into the trees. Branches snapping. Dirt flying. My hands gripping the wheel so tight I couldn't feel my fingers. The road twisted sharp left. A normal driver would have slowed down. The car behind us didn't. It glided around the corner flawlessly, like it was being pulled on invisible rails. We reached a clearing, a dead end, surrounded by thick forest and the faint outline of a cliff behind it. The car skidded to a stop. The forest swallowed us. Near complete darkness. The car behind us rolled into the clearing, stopping with unnatural precision. Headlights died out instantly. No engine sound. No cooling metal ticking. Just silence. The kind of silence that feels alive. I couldn't breathe. Mia squeezed my arm. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Why did it stop?" I don't know. We watched. The black car sat motionless. 10 seconds. 20. 30. Then, clunk. The driver's side door unlocked and swung open. Nobody came out. Nobody could. It was offering the empty space, inviting us. Mia started sobbing softly. "I don't want to be here. Please, please do something." Then the back door opened too. Something slid out. An envelope. Black as night. It landed softly in the dirt. I didn't want to go near it. Every bone in my body screamed at me to stay inside, lock the doors, and never move again. But something compelled me. Something silent. Cold. Patient. I stepped out. The air felt heavier, thicker, like breathing through water. I crouched and picked up the envelope. It was warm, almost pulsing. Inside was a single photograph. My hands trembled violently as I held it under the moonlight. It was a picture of our car, taken from behind, on the highway. Except the black car was in the photo too. Not behind us. Beside us. But in reality it had never been beside us. Not even once. Then I noticed something else in the picture. Something that made my blood run ice cold. In the back seat of our car, right behind where Mia had been sleeping, there was someone sitting. A shape. A human shape. Blurred. like motion captured at the wrong moment. A face that didn't belong to anyone alive. I stumbled back, dropping the photo. My voice cracked. "Mia, get out of the car. Now." She was crying harder. "What? Why?" "There was someone in the back seat with you." Her scream tore through the clearing. The black car's headlights flashed once, but this time, they weren't white. They were red deep. Sickening. Like glowing coals. The doors slammed shut simultaneously. The car revved to life, except the sound wasn't a rev. It was a long, low whisper. A breath. It pulled forward, rolling past us without turning its wheels. It glided toward the cliff's edge. Then it paused, as if looking back at us, as if deciding something. Then it launched itself straight over the cliff. No hesitation. I ran forward and peered over the edge. Nothing. No crash. No crunch of metal. No dust cloud. Just darkness. It had vanished. I stumbled back toward our car, shaking uncontrollably. Mia was inside, holding her phone with both hands like it was the only thing keeping her tethered to reality. Her face was drained of all color. "He sent this to me," she whispered. "Who?" She turned the phone toward me. It was a video. A long, shaky video, recorded from inside the black car. The view was from the back seat. Looking forward, through the windshield. The road ahead looked familiar. Our car was in front of it, and the camera slowly panned to show the back seat, our back seat, and in that seat, behind us, was the same blurred figure from the photograph. Sitting still, facing the camera, facing whoever watched the video. Facing us, and then the figure leaned forward, as if trying to get closer, and the video cut abruptly. Under it was a timestamp. 2:08 a.m. 5 minutes before I ever noticed the headlights behind us. My entire body went numb. It had been there all along, behind us, inside our car, watching. We weren't being followed. We were being taken somewhere. We didn't speak for the rest of the drive. Every shadow felt like it was watching. Every bump on the road felt like a hand grabbing the car. I kept checking the mirrors. Even though I knew the car had vanished, I expected to see those headlights again. Expected to see the figure sitting in our back seat again. Mia didn't look back once. She kept whispering prayers under her breath. When we finally reached the city lights, I felt a moment of relief. But that relief died the moment we turned onto our street. Because parked in front of our house, watching. I slammed on the brakes so hard, Mia hit the dashboard. No. She screamed. I blinked, heart pounding. Looked again. The black car was gone. Just a normal neighbor's sedan in the same spot. My brain couldn't separate reality from fear anymore. We rushed inside and locked every door, every window, every possible opening. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat by the window, watching the empty street, waiting for headlights to appear, waiting for a door to open on its own, waiting for another envelope, waiting for a blurred face to appear at the edge of my vision. At 4:51 a.m., my phone buzzed. A new message. From an unknown number, just 3 words. "Next time, look closer." And attached a photo taken through my bedroom window. Of me. Sitting exactly where I was, staring outside. But the angle of the picture, the height, the slight tilt, it was taken from the driver's seat height of a car. Black car, parked silently in the dark. Watching. waiting. If you want more stories like this, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss what comes next, because whether you believe me or not, it's still out there. And sooner or later, it's going to follow someone else. Maybe it'll be you. Maybe it already is.